What purpose does the gentleman from Tennessee rise? The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes or less.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the 3rd of July, in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, I discovered that there was ice that was being disposed of by being dumped on a driveway, more or less, at Spotswood and East Parkway. What that was about was FEMA dropping and disposing of ice. FEMA had purchased thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of ice after Hurricane Katrina and Rita, when they didn't have enough ice. To try to compensate, they bought way, way, way too much ice. I have discovered that FEMA spent in purchasing, in transporting, and in storing ice in 23 different American cities, Mr. Speaker, $67 million of our taxpayers' money. And FEMA's now spending nearly $4 million to dispose of that ice over a period of 11 months. That means $70 million of American taxpayer dollars going down the drain. That's not the way an American government or any government should work, any business should work, or what Americans should expect of their government. Fortunately, this Democratic Congress is doing what legislative branches are supposed to do: oversight. We've lacked oversight for the last 6 years, Mr. Speaker, and faults of the administration have gone unnoticed. But as I serve on the subcommittee that deals with FEMA, I will see to it that on August 29th, when that subcommittee meets in New Orleans on the 2nd anniversary of that horrendous event, Hurricane Katrina, that we will ask the director of FEMA and others about their programs, of why they buy excess commodities and excess ice, of why they spend $70 million of American taxpayers' money on ice folly, and why they didn't try to dispose of that ice during the period of time when it had a useful shelf life and give it to 501c3 charities, federal, state, or county government institutions, so it could be used and utilized by American people who could have used that ice and saved some money. The same thing happens with commodities, and Chairman Eleanor Holmes Norton, the chairman of that subcommittee, had a hearing on food distribution and commodities, where FEMA had wasted other precious commodities and dollars. Mr. Speaker, this needs to stop. Our tax dollars are valuable, and people expect our government to do right with their tax dollars. I will not stand by, and when I see incompetence, when I see inefficiencies, when I see ineffective use of tax dollars, I will speak up. And I'm fortunate to be on the subcommittee to ask the questions on August 29th of FEMA. It seems like the horrendous events that we had when Brownie didn't know what he was doing and the people in New Orleans were left in a tragic circumstance are replicating themselves. FEMA has not been cleaned up, and we will try to see that FEMA spends our money properly and responds properly. They haven't responded to the American people, they haven't responded to Congress, and this is a wrong that needs to be righted. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the time, and I yield the balance of my time back to the chair.